everyone, welcome back to this session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter Comprehension Ability. Now, this is part number 9. So, in this session, again, we are going to discuss a passage, and this passage is passage number 12. So, in this session, we are going to discuss passage number 12. It means till now we have already discussed 11 passages. Now, this is turn of passage number 12. So, let us just read the passage and start attempting the questions based on that. So, let us start reading the passage, but it totally depends on time you have. Okay, if you have only a few minutes, just go to the questions first. But if you have some time, you should first read the passage and then start attempting the questions, or you can at least read a little of the passage. Okay, that will definitely help you out in finding or in recognizing that what the passage is about. So here in this passage, first let us see that what the passage is about. Political education may be defined as the preparation of a citizen to take well-informed, responsible, and sustained action for participation in the national struggle for the realization of socio-economic objectives of the country. The overriding means very, very important, or important, something important more than all, or more important than all. Socio-economic objectives in India are the abolition of poverty and the creation of a modern democratic, secular and socialist society in place of present traditional feudal, hierarchical and egalitarian one. Okay, now there is something very important about this passage. We are talking about political education over here, as in the first line only we have defined political education. It means somewhere this passage is related to political education that we are just going to read in this session. Now, if we talk about some other words, like here it is written in egalitarian. So this is somewhere when we talk about when something is promoting inequality, that is in egalitarian. Okay. And if the word is feudal over there, which is related to feudalism, well, these are some terms which are related to that India which was dependent or which was not independent. So that India, when our country was a colony of Britishers, or you can say was under the British policy. So at that time, so we are talking about the independence, when India got independence, and its education policy was being discussed, how it should look like. So this passage is somewhere about that. As you can read a few lines of it, you can see the word education over there and the political interference in that, or the political education. So we are talking here about political education now. Okay, so let us read the questions, and from those questions we will be able to answer them according to the context of the passage, and with the help of questions we'll read the passage again. Okay, so let us just go to the question now. It is okay, let me go to the question. So this is here we can have okay, now let us have this. First, let us delete all these lines, and here we have the question: which is the major pitfall of the present education system? So pitfall means the drawback. Okay, so which is the major drawback of present education system? And the options are: it is mainly represented by downtrodden masses, it perpetuates the domination of the privileged few, it is based on British model of education, it is highly hierarchical and inegalitarian in nature. Now we are talking about pitfall of the present education system. Now let us read it again, where we have already seen this word inegalitarian one over here, but here we cannot see that we are talking about political education system. Okay, now if you see the third paragraph, okay, now let us see if this word is written anywhere. Now some can be said. Okay, if we see this part, from here. But in spite of it, the political infiltration of educational system has greatly increased in the sense that different political parties with a view each other to capture the minds of teachers and students. The wiser convenience, no, here it is not given. The interference with the educational system by the political parties of their ulterior, no political education at all and the round growth. Okay. Surprise for the real has been okay. Yes, here it is underprivileged ones that we were looking for. So today we have even lost the courage to fight on the basic issues in a disciplined manner because agitational and anarchic politics for individual, group or party aggrandizement has become common. The education system of today. Now here you can see this line. It is written. As you can see over here, the education system of today continues to support domination of the privileged groups and domestication of the underprivileged ones. The situation will not change unless we take vigorous steps to provide genuine political education on an adequate scale. It means this is something you can say negative in our education policy or education system. Okay, so this is the answer as per the requirement. So here if we see the question again, it is the answer will be B. It perpetuates the domination of the privileged few, because here it is written, as we can see over here as well, that today we have even lost the courage to fight on the basic issues in a disciplined manner because agitation and anarchic. Okay, so this is actually the answer which is required by us, because the education system of today continues to support. Okay, so what is actually the major drawback? That it continues to support domination of the privileged groups, okay, and the domestication of the unprivileged ones. So this is the correct answer, that is answer B. Now let us move to the next question. Here again the paragraph is given, the same paragraph, and the question number 2 is, which of the following is true in the context of the passage? Now we have some lines. First is, British ruler wanted Indian education system to be influenced by politics. Academic institutions receive genuine political support. Real political education should aim at creating an elitist society. Okay, it is elitist society. Elitist means where elitism is there. Where we can see elitism means you can say providing good qualities to those which are who are of the higher class, okay, or the higher class. So that is elitism. The Indian press has been under the influence of privileged groups. Now let us read this. British rule wanted Indian economic system. Now we are looking for the true statement. So British ruler wanted Indian education system to be influenced by politics. First let us see this line if it is given in the passage. Now in the first one, it is, political education may be defined as the preparation of a citizen to take well-informed, responsible and sustained action for the participation in national struggle. Basically, if we talk about political education, it is just good for the national struggle as well. We are creating citizens to take participation or to participate in the national struggle. So obviously it should not be enhanced or promoted by British policy, okay, or the British rule. Under the British rule, the Congress leaders argued that political education was an important part of education and refused to accept the official view that education and politics should not be mixed with one another. But when they come to power in 1947, they almost adopted the British policy and began to talk of education being defiled by politics. Hands off education was the call to political parties. Hands off education means the education policy taken by someone else. Okay, that means hands off. Okay, so here if we talk about this, the first line is not correct, okay, according to the situation which is given. Academic institutions receive genuine political support. Now let us look for this line. Let us go in the second paragraph if it is written? No, we have already read second paragraph. It is not written in this. Okay, now here you can see the general political support. Now if we see the word general political support, let us read this line so that we can analyze whether this second statement is correct or incorrect. But in spite of it, political infiltration into the educational system has greatly increased in the sense that different political parties view with each other to capture the minds of teachers and students. The wise academicians wanted political support without political interference. Okay, it means they wanted political support, but they don't want government to interfere in that, or political interference in the education policy. What have actually received is infinite political interference with little genuine political support. Little means not any, or you can say equivalent to nothing. It means they did not get genuine political support. But in the second line, it is written, academic institutions receive genuine political support. Therefore, this statement is also incorrect. So, two statements have been incorrect. Real political education should aim at creating an elitist society. Real political education should aim at creating an elitist society. Now let us read this as well. Here it is written elitism. So it is no political education at all, and with all the round growth of elitism, it is hardly a matter of surprise that real political education within the school system has been even weaker than in pre-independent period. It means this line is also incorrect. So here only one line is left, that the Indian press has been under the influence of privileged groups. Now let us read if this is given or not. Though all the three lines, if they are incorrect, obviously this fourth line should be correct. Still, we should look for this line whether it is written in the passage or not. So the press could, as you can see over here, the press could provide some political education, but it did not utilize the opportunity to full and strangle hold of vested interests continue to dominate it. The same can be said of political parties as well, of other institutions and agencies out there, school system which can be expected to provide political education. All the things considered, it appears that have made no progress in genuine political education in the post-independence period and have even slided back in some respects. For instance, the education system has become even the first casualty. Casualty means when someone does and it has to be tolerated by someone else. So that is actually casualty, or something which has been injured. Gandhiji gave us courage to oppose the government when it was wrong in a disciplined fashion and on basic principles. He believed that means to be as important as the ends. Now, here we can say one thing, yes, that the Indian press has been under the influence of privileged groups. As you can see over here as well, the education system of today continues to support domination of the privileged groups. It means it is press which is under the control of privileged ones. Therefore, D is absolutely correct answer. Now, let us move to the next one. Now, political education, again, the same passage is there, and the question is, which word is nearly same in the meaning as defile as used in the passage? So we have to look for the word defile. First, whenever we have such words, this is actually a question based on vocabulary. Now there are two patterns. If we know the meaning of defile previously, or if we already know the meaning of defile, we can easily answer the question. But sometimes the meaning or the word or the meaning of that particular word changes according to the context of the passage. So you should always read this word in the passage and try to analyze what is the meaning of that particular word. Now, if the word is defile, let me tell you, defile means to spoil or to pollute. Okay. Now, if the word defile is over there, obviously the meaning should be negative. So we have to look for the word defile in the passage. So let us go back to the paragraph number 1. Can you see this word in the first paragraph? Can you see? No, I cannot see this word defile or defiled in the first paragraph. Now let us move to the second. Yes, here we can see this word defiled. So the second paragraph, it contains the word defiled. Now let us read this. Under the British rule, the Congress leaders argued that political education was an important part of education. Here it is. It has been repeated. No way, no worries, and refused to accept the official view that education and politics should not be mixed with one another. But when they came to power in 1947, they almost adopted the British policy and began to talk of education being defiled by politics. Okay. Now, defiled by politics, it means that it has been, you can say, spoiled by politics. Okay. Now, let us read the options. First, we have disparage, tarnish, degenerate, or contaminate. So the meaning of the word defile is contaminate. As I told you that defile means spoil or to pollute. So its answer is D, that is contaminate. Now let us move to the next one. Again, the same paragraph, and the question which is given to us is, what should be the ultimate objective of political education? Now, for this, we should go in the first paragraph. Now, read this paragraph carefully. Political education may be defined as the preparation of a citizen to take well-informed, responsible, and sustained action for participation in the national struggle for the realization of socio-economic objectives of the country. The overriding socio-economic objectives in India are abolition of poverty. It means they wanted to get rid of poverty or to remove poverty, and the creation of a modern democratic, secular, and socialistic society in place of, it means by replacing present traditional feudal, hierarchical, and inegalitarian one. It means they wanted to make positive, but they do not want it to be feudal, hierarchical, and inegalitarian one. In place of means by placing these or by replacing these. Okay. So they wanted to avoid these things in place of these things. So let us see the options now. To foster all ground of elitism. Foster means to support or to encourage, but we don't want to grow elitism, obviously. To bring quantitative change in the entire education system. It is not given at all. To create an egalitarian society, obviously they wanted to get rid of egalitarian society. It means they wanted to make the society egalitarian. Egalitarian means social, or you can say which is well behaved, which supports equality. Okay, or which promotes equality. The students, to prepare students with high intellectual acumen, no, they just wanted to create an egalitarian society. They said, no, here, as you can see over here, in place of, it means they don't want in egalitarian society. In egalitarian society, they do not want. So they wanted to be it egalitarian, because in egalitarian is the opposite of egalitarian, and egalitarian means which is supporting or promoting equality. Therefore, here the correct answer will be C. So again, C will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the next one. Again, let us see the questions. The question is, according to the passage, what is the main contribution of Mahatma Gandhi to the field of political education? Now, we can simply see that we have read about Gandhiji over here. As you can see in this paragraph only, Gandhiji gave us the courage to oppose government when it was wrong, in disciplined fashion and on basic principles. He believed that means to be as important as the ends. So let us see the options. He spread political literacy among the people through non-formal political education. He emphasized the need of keeping education free from political interference. He taught as agitational and anarchic politics in a disciplined manner. He made us believe that our political end should be compatible with the means. And as you can see it in the line, he believed the means to be as important as the ends. So D option matches the same line. Moreover, if it is written here, today we have even lost the courage to fight on basic issues in a disciplined manner, because agitation and anarchic politics for individual, group, or party aggrandizement has become common. So here in this line, C is incorrect according to this line. So D is absolutely correct answer. So answer is D. So this is very, very simple. It is directly given in the passage, as you can see in the bracket. Okay, so it is directly given in the passage. Therefore, D is the correct answer. Now let us move to the next one. Now let us see this question. And this question is, what was the policy of the ruling party regarding political education immediately after independence? Okay, immediately after independence. So what was the policy of the ruling party? So they are talking about the ruling party. What was the policy of ruling party? And moreover, they are asking about after independence. So let us read ruling party, or as you can see over here in the second paragraph, you have to look for these words. Okay, what are the keywords over here? They are the objectives or the purpose, ruling party, education immediately after independence. So now they are just asking about ruling party regarding political education immediately after independence. So what was the policy? Okay, so they want to ask us about the policy. Now let us read this one by one. And if you see this in the second paragraph, they followed. Okay, here it should be written the same word, which is policy of the interference of educational system, political parties for their own ulterior motives. Yes. Now in the third paragraph, you can see political infiltration into the educational system has greatly increased in the sense that different political parties with a view other capture minds of teachers and students. The wise academicians who wanted political support without political interference would have actually received as infinite political interference with little genuine political support. This interference with the educational system by political parties for their own ulterior motives, it means for their own motives or own benefits, is no political education at all. And with all the round growth of elitism, it is hardly a matter of surprise that real political education within the school system has been even weaker than in pre-independence period. So let us read the options. Education should keep itself clean of politics. Political education should be imparted through formal means. Press should take up the responsibility of imparting political education. And political education should not be devoid of socio-economic realities. So they just want, according to this paragraph, this interference with the educational system by political parties for their own ulterior motives is no political education at all. It means they just wanted, if it is actually the political leaders, if they are using this political education for themselves, it is not political education. It means they are denying the fact that political education is related to politics. They are saying that it should be clean of politics. It should be without political interference. Therefore, here the correct answer will be education should keep itself clean of politics, because they are saying in this line that political education does not mean that it should be containing politics. In fact, it should be free of politics. Therefore, A is the correct answer, that education should keep itself clean of politics. So from this line, we can get the answer. Okay, because they clearly stated in the first line of the passage that political education means to create a citizen participate, or to make the citizen participate in national struggle. That is political education. Political education is a genuine term, or the correct term. Okay, is the positive term. Now let us move to the another question. Now, which of the following statement is true? So we will be given some statements and we have to look for the correct statement out of those. So the first is, the spirit of patriotism is on the verge of extinction. Political parties provide proper. Okay, we have to look for the statement which is not true. It means we have to look for the false statement. Here it is written not true. It means we have to look for that particular statement which is not true at all. So the spirit of patriotism is on the verge of extinction. Political parties provide proper political education. We do not have courage to fight on basic issues. Or freedom struggle helped educate people politically. Now let us see the answer for this question, we have to look for that particular statement which is not true at all according to the context of the passage. So the first one is the spirit of patriotism is on the verge of extinction. Well, we have not been given this patriotism over here, so we should keep this aside. Now let us read another statements. Political parties provide proper political education. Next one is we do not have courage to fight basic issues. We just have read this statement in year when it was wrong in a disciplined fashion of basic principles. Okay. Now let us read if this line is given over here of the courage. Gandhiji gave us courage to oppose government when it was wrong in a disciplined fashion of basic principles. Today we have even lost the courage to fight on the basic issues in disciplined manner because of agitation and anarchic politics for individual. So this line, third line, is correct as we have read this in as it is in this paragraph. Freedom struggle help educate people politically. So if we look for this line, yes, here we need political education just to make citizen well informed, responsible, sustained action of participation in the national struggle. It means yes, it has made citizen to read politically. Okay. And political parties provide proper political education. Now let us read if this line is given in the passage or not. Here it is, political parties provide proper political education. Okay. So if we look for this word, different political parties with view each other to capture the minds of teachers and students. Under the British rule, the Congress leaders, political education was an important part of education and refused to accept the official view that education and politics should be mixed with one another. Okay. And here it is written, political infiltration into the educational system. It means political parties, they have their own motive and they cannot teach proper political education. Institutional agencies out the school system which cannot be expected. Okay, here it is written. At the same time, the freedom struggle came to an end and the major non-formal agency of political education disappeared. The press could provide some political education. So who can provide political education? The press. But it did not utilize the opportunity to the full and stranglehold of vested interest continued to dominate it. The same can be said of political parties as well, of the other institutions and agencies outside the school system which can expected to provide political education. It means they were expected to do so, but they did not. So B should be the correct answer. So our answer will be B because this is not true. Now let us move to the next question. Now here the question is, how has politics been related to educational institutions after independence? Okay, now let us see the options. They got political support devoid of political interference. They got almost no political support as well as political interference. They got political support at the cost of political interference. There was substantial interference without political support. Obviously, we have read this in this paragraph that in spite of political infiltration into the educational system has greatly increased in the sense different political parties and what they did without political interference. The wise academicians want political support without political interference, but what they have received, political interference with little genuine political support. It means they got political interference but not political support. Now we look at these statements. They got political support devoid of political interference. No, because they got political interference devoid of political support. They got almost no political support as well as now they got political interference but not political support. So half of this is incorrect. They got political support at the cost of political interference. Now, there was substantial interference without political support. Yes, D is the correct answer as they got interference but they did not get political support. So here fourth or the D statement is absolutely correct as per it is given directly in the passage. Okay. So this is again very simple. Now let us move to the next question. And the next question is, according to the passage, political education in the real sense should impede the process of creating an ideal society, develop people who will be committed to bring social change, make political parties aware of the need of major educational reforms, strengthen the traditional and feudal elements of the society. Obviously, it is B, as we have already read in the first line. Here you can see that political education may be defined as the preparation of citizens to take well-informed, responsible and sustained action for participation in the national struggle for the realization of socio-economic objectives of the country. Okay, so this is actually the correct part. So B is the correct answer, develop people who will be committed to bring social change. Okay, so this will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the next question, and this is question number. Okay, now what is the opposite in the meaning? This is question number 10. So what is the most opposite in meaning to the word hamper as used in the passage? Hamper is written in the last statement. Well, hamper means to disturb or to interrupt. So the opposite will be expedite, enhance, foster or oppose. So it is A, that is expedite. Expedite means to support or to go to do as it is, or to do as said. So that is expedite. Okay, so it is opposite of hamper. Now let us move. Okay, so this was the last question of today's session, or the today's paragraph. So I hope you understood each and every question very well. These are very simple questions. Though the passage is tricky, you may find some words which are difficult, because of which you are not able to analyze the meaning of the paragraph. Still, if you read it carefully, you will really get the meaning of each and every line. And if you read the questions with the help of, read the passage according to the help of questions, or with the help of questions, you will definitely analyze that this passage is quite easy and simple. So I hope this is beneficial session for you all. Thanks to you.